and enjoy the show.
Yes, people, welcome to another episode of Real Talk Uncut. I'm here with my guest, Frank. Frank is a very educated person, and he's here to share his views about a lot of things that happen in the universe that a lot of us, we're using things, but we don't know that we're using it. Just say things happen, and we always say thanks to the universe, but we don't actually know the secrets behind it. So Frank is here to explain a lot of stuff. Yeah, Frank, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Absolute pleasure.
So, Frank, tell us a little about yourself. Like, where are you from?
Yeah, me, I'm originally from San Bernardino, California.
Yeah.
If you know where that's at, it's a pretty big city. It's in the Inland Empire. So like normally like up here where we're at in Washington, like I always tell people San Bernardino, and they're like, "Where's that?" And then
Yeah.
I'll just tell them Los Angeles. It's the closest thing to Los Angeles. So kind of around there. It's a pretty big city, and a lot of people who are viewing it, they probably might know where it's at.
Yeah. So, I met you, like, we work together, and we have a conversation, and I know that you're very smart, you're very educated, your IQ is on a different level. Yeah, so tell us a little about your background, like, how do you get so educated? What was your education background like?
Well, me, I mainly I call myself an old soul. I've always hung out with people older than me. Most of the time, double my age. You know, I've gone along with my dad's friends half the time better than my own, and they have just filled me with information as a young kid and as a teenager and as a young adult, and I just soaked it up.
Okay.
Whenever they would tell me about something, I was just so invested in it. Like, you know, there's a lot of kids, like, as you were saying, like, you'd be talking about the universe and stuff, and they're like, yeah, I don't really believe in that, but I was always so like, no, more, tell me more.
Yeah.
I want to hear more about it.
Yeah.
And so, I was always just so invested in, like, the information that they give me, and then there was this one guy that I knew a couple years back. He was really, really into, like, this astrology stuff and, like, law of attraction and all these things, and when he would speak, it would just my mind was just completely focused on what he had said.
Yeah.
And like I mentioned, I would just soak it up, and I tried my best. He is on another level than I am.
Yeah.
But I did my best to at least get a good idea of it.
Yeah, because I mean, as I said, we had conversation, and your conversation are really, really like intriguing. Like, there's so much things that you open my eyes to that I started researching. Like, for example, let's get into information about other life forms, like things like that. Could you care to elaborate on that some more first? Like,
yeah. So my personal opinion is, and I know there's going to be a lot of people where they're like, he sounds like he's gibberish, but like I said, in my personal opinion, I feel truly like on some of the objects that we have on this earth, we have been given by another life form.
Yes.
So, you know the saying when someone does something amazing, how on earth did you do that?
Yeah.
How on earth did you do that?
Yeah.
Key word, how on earth did you do that? So that's where I get it. So I go as far as like the engine, like the car engine. Of course, it started as the steam engine, and it's like heat energy converted to mechanical energy. Like I'm aware of where it started, and then it transformed into what it is now, or evolved into where it is now. But I said that so the steam engine was invented in, I believe, 1698 by Thomas Avery.
Yes.
So the steam engine, something that we just recently created, was invented 1698. Okay.
Yes.
And you go way back to about the mid 600 AD.
Yes.
Okay, the birth of Christ, 600 AD. I say the mid 600 AD because I'm going to talk about this guy, King Pakal.
Yes.
And he was born 603 AD and he passed away 683 AD. So that's why I say like the mid 600s.
Yes.
And it's this Mayan engraving of him, and he's vertical, and he's controlling this spaceship like thing. He's got these oxygen tanks in his nose, and he's controlling stuff with his feet, and he's controlling all these controls with his hands, and it's just this amazing. And you could even look it up, and I can show you.
Yes, we're gonna show it to the viewers while you're explaining it. So we're gonna have the image on the screen showing the viewers what we're talking about. I've seen it, and it's really fantastic. That's what I'm telling you guys. Like, continue. Yeah.
So I tell myself, like, So it's like when we see something cool these days, we take a picture of it on our phone.
Yes.
So now we're able to take a picture. So back in those days, when they'd see something cool, they would engrave it on a wall or on a plaque.
Yes,
Or, you know what I mean? So I'm sitting there like, the engine's invented in 1698, okay? But there's this engraving of this immaculate, this machinery of Pakal the Great that he was engineering at the time. And it's like, so obviously someone had to visually see that. Someone saw him in this machine, so they went and engraved it. And it's a very detailed engraving. It's a very detailed. I actually have one hanging up in my living room because I'm so invested in it. I love the idea of it so much. And that's why I feel where it's like, I feel like we have been given information, or we have been way ahead of our time before we even know it.
Yes.
And it's like it's an insane engraving. Like the more you look at it, just the more things you find. And you're like, how would someone just come up with this? How would someone made that up? How did they even have the idea of it?
But just like the pyramid, right?
Yeah.
Like all those engraving that you speak about in the pyramid. Where did they see all this stuff? That's what you're trying to get at, right?
Exactly.
So, and even the pyramid, how did they build all those unique pyramids and all those monuments and all that?
And the thing about the pyramids too, if I'm correct, they're actually, a lot of the pyramids are actually lined up with certain constellations in the sky. And these pyramids too, you think you look at them, they're so perfectly like symmetrical on each side. Like you don't have one going this way and then one going like a little bit more that. They're literally perfectly symmetrical on each side.
Yes.
And I truly believe that there are other life forms that have came down and give us information and they tested it. Let's see what this planet can do with this information. Let's see what they can do with this. You know, there's even I don't know if you've ever even heard of crop circles.
No, but I would have to research that.
We could also look it up as well. There's also these crop circles things where these farmers will literally wake up in the morning and they go into their field and there is this perfect, just it's like almost unexplainable of like an engraving that you wouldn't be able to make it this perfect with one of their little tractors or mowers or something, but it's like it almost looks like a circled maze. Or sometimes there's like I don't know how to explain it, but it's something that we wouldn't be able to do, and it's huge. There's some crop circles that are miles long, miles, and it happens overnight. And the farmer, there's literally been documentaries and stories where the farmer's like, that was not there yesterday, and now it just showed up overnight. There's no way someone on Earth, as I was saying, can do this overnight.
Yeah, because I've seen documentaries where they're like, there's other life forms among us, right? Yeah. Absolutely. And I'm always intrigued to find out more about it. So that's why we're very grateful that you're here to share those stories because you invested more time and research in things like this. So we can share things like this with our viewers and we can give them the opportunity to research for themselves.
Yep. Like me, I'm nowhere near a scientist on this stuff. I just have a good idea of somewhat what goes on. So it's like, obviously you feel like our Earth is literally, so out of every grain of sand in the entire world, like you go to a beach and there's millions. One little grain of sand is our Earth compared to every grain of sand in the entire world. Yes. So you think, and I've seen documentaries too about like cosmos and stuff, and it's like it'll show Earth, and then it zooms out, and then it shows our solar system, and then it zooms out, and then it shows our Milky Way, and it's like, okay, decent. And then it zooms out, and then it shows our galaxy, everything, and then it just keeps zooming out, and it's like, it's unbelievable how far it goes out. And that's I've had so many people like, oh, we're the only life form. Well, you need to wake up, because there's no absolute way that Earth is the only thing that's out here. Because even like with our cell phones, like same thing. Like how did someone one day just think, I'm gonna get these wires and I'm gonna solder them together, and I'm gonna get this, and I'm gonna put these together, and it's gonna make this screen pop up. Oh, but I need a battery. I need let's call it lithium. Where are you getting this information? Where are you getting all this from? Where are you getting all this from? Oh, I'm just gonna get this lithium and this and that, or like I was saying with the engine, let's get this gas and let's put it in this and it's gonna make it run. Like how are you coming up with this stuff? Yeah, that's a lot of information that it's very, very intriguing, and that's why I'm very
you know, I'm very attentive to the information because they make sense. Like, how did we get up, as you said, and decided that we're gonna make cars?
Yeah.
We're gonna make phones. We're gonna make computer. And as you see every day, like technology keep advancing.
Yeah.
It's like there was a blueprint back in the day that was set.
Absolutely.
So things can be advancing.
I mean, yeah, obviously people would call it, oh, it's called evolution. It's like, yes, I understand it's called evolution, but where did we come up with it in the first place? Like, you know, like we've started off as cavemen. We were making hammers with a darn rock, for crying out loud, or we're heating up a rock for a stove, and obviously they think, I need to make this better. Of course, yes, I believe in obviously evolution, but it's where did this evolution come from?
Yes.
That's why I truly believe that there has been something that has, you know, given it to us, and it's like, hey, what can you do with this? Let's see what this planet Earth can do. Let's see what you can do with that.
That makes sense, and I really, it's so interesting. Like people, this is information at its rawest. That's why it's called Real Talk Uncut.
And like I said, I'm no scientist. There's some people.
No, it's your opinion.
He's wrong. This is literally my opinion.
That's the reason why it's called Real Talk Uncut.
This is
so it's your real talk.
Yeah.
So people, I read it. You read it.
Okay.
And I think the world need to read this book.
I know where you're going.
This book, no, we have to talk about this.
That's
book.
what I'm saying. I know where you're going with
this book is, people. Let me tell you this.
It's a chronicle.
Yeah, this book is definitely the cheat code in life.
Yes.
Right? I was put onto this book by my fiance, and I read it. And there's even a YouTube version of it.
Documentary.
Right? They're documented, yeah. And it's called The Secret. This book is definitely the secret.
Yes.
Like, I'm telling you, when I said it's a cheat code, it's definitely the cheat code.
Oh, it's a cheat code. It's literally.
Yeah. So, Frank, firstly, how did you hear about this book?
Me, I heard about this book from one of my good friends. There was this lady that I knew, and her dad introduced me to it.
Yeah.
And when he introduced me to it, I was blown away. And he's like, you know, this world is literally like magic. And it really is. It's like the realest form of magic you could ever even think of. But you have to truly believe. Like, that's why it's so important to have a positive mindset throughout your day.
Yeah.
Because literally what you think, you can think something, and if you truly believe it, it will happen.
Oh, yeah.
And obviously it's not going to just land on your lap, but you have to put into the work. So it's literally like, you know, we call it the book. So the book is literally all about the law of attraction. That's what it's about. That's the secret, is the law of attraction. And once you get put onto the law of attraction and you actually know that it's a real thing, your life is going to change. And it did with mine. And I've been using the law of attraction even when I was a kid, even when I didn't even know what it was. I didn't even know what the law of attraction was. Yeah, that's
what I'm saying. Like, a lot of people out there, it does use it, but they're not aware of that. They're using it. Because when I learned about this book, I start thinking more positively.
Absolutely.
Because I was like Debbie Downer, like, if something might happen, I'm like, that's it. And then your day just keep going downhill.
Yep.
And now I understand why. And it's real. It is real.
It is.
Whatever you put in the atmosphere, it's going to manifest.
Absolutely. Yeah. It's even like, you know, like sometimes people wake up in the morning and like the second they wake up, they stub their toe.
Yeah.
Damn. And it's okay. And so then they go on and then they go to make their morning coffee and then they spill their coffee all over the place. Oh, this is how today's going to be? Oh, damn it. Absolutely. That is how today's going to be. If you think that's how it's going to go, that's how it will go.
Yes, exactly.
So that's why I practice, like, you know, I wake up in the morning, let's say, like, as I just mentioned, I'll stub my toe. Okay, oh well, that was my fault. And then I'll just go and I'm getting my energy drink and I crack it open and I drop it all over the place. Oh well, just keep on going about your day. And so that's two things that the universe tried to get me real quick. But I said, nope, you ain't going to bother me today. I just woke up. I'm good.
Yeah.
The fact that I woke up, that's my blessing right there.
Yes.
I stubbed my toe, big deal.
Yeah.
I dropped my energy drink, big deal. I'll get another one.
Yeah.
After that moment right there.
Yep.
Everything starts to fall into place. I got good news at work, and you know, we got this going on for you, and it's like, see, positive mindset. I woke up, things were happening, I deflected it.
Yes.
And I told myself, I don't care what happens, I'm gonna have a good day.
Yes.
And it happens, and it literally works. And it was like I was saying, like, I've been using the law of attraction before I even knew what it was.
Yeah.
Like, you know, when I was a kid and I did a lot of sports, and for instance, like I'd pull out my skateboard one day, and this is like, I don't even know what the law of attraction is. I don't know what none of this stuff is at this time. I'm like 10 years old, 11 years old.
Yeah.
And I tell myself, I'm gonna kickflip this staircase today. I'm gonna do it today. And I got all my friends around, and then I do it, and then I fail, and I come back and I do it, and I fail. And then I sit there and I'm like, all right, guys, right here. I'm gonna do it right here. And then I don't do it. And then all right, this one. I promise I'm gonna get it this. I'm gonna get it this one. And then I fail, but only until I sat there. I'd sit there and tell them, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. But it never happened. But when I'd go back and I'd reset for it, I would sit up and I'd close my eyes and I'm like, and only when I whispered it to myself, all right, Frank, this is the one. This is gonna be it. And this is an important part of law of attraction too. You have to envision it actually happening. So I envisioned the board flipping, I envisioned my feet landing, and I envisioned myself rolling away, but I said it to myself, this is it. This is going to be the one, right here. Sure enough, landed it. Sure enough, I landed it, because I truly believed I was going to do it.
Yeah. So, with power of attraction, right, a lot of people don't understand that your body, your mind, when they said your mind is very powerful, your brain, your mind is a powerful tool, right? When you just explain that, you have to envision it and imagine it happening. That's where it comes in when you said your mind is a powerful tool.
Yes.
Because your mind is picturing it, and it's like pretty much giving off waves.
Yes.
Like it's sending off. Yeah.
I call it a vision board.
Yeah.
And it even goes for, you know, like, there was a story on the secret that we were talking about.
Yeah.
There's a story on there where there's this millionaire who was a millionaire.
Yes.
He had everything he could ever ask for. He had all this stuff, and he just had the slightest thought in his mind. What would it be like if I lost all this?
Oh yeah.
Well, I don't want to do that. But just because he thought about it,
it becomes a reality.
He lost everything.
Mm-hmm.
Just because he thought about it. I don't know the true story on how he lost everything, but just because he had the thought in his mind.
Yeah, because your mind is a powerful tool. Yes. So whatever you think, it manifested.
Yep.
So just like
you're here. That's another word for it. Yep.
Yeah. So whatever you think. So just like you explained that he's thinking about losing all that money, he's putting it out there, and then it becomes So the wavelength. So it becomes a reality.
Yep.
Just like if you want something, and we're not saying you're not supposed to work for things, because without work, it's not gonna come true. But you have to imagine it first. You have to manifest that first.
Imagine it, and always you have to put in. You absolutely have to put in the work. You know, like and like with my vision board that I was talking about, like you can tell yourself like, oh, I'm gonna own a GTR one day.
Yeah.
You're not just gonna get a GTR one day, but the best thing you can do, which also that documentary mentions, is if you want a GTR, you know what that is, a Nissan GTR.
Yeah, I know.
Put it as your wallpaper on your phone.
Yeah.
Get a picture on Google, grab a GTR, and put it on a wallpaper as your phone. You look at it every single day. That's going to be the car I'm going to own. Let's say you drive a Honda Civic. Oh well. Get into that car every single day and envision a Nissan symbol, GTR symbol. Envision it. Turn on your car. It's going to make no noise at all because it's a Honda Civic. And then you envision it. Do that every single day. But then tell yourself, okay, what would it take for me to get this GTR? What kind of job would it take to get this GTR?
Yeah.
Now put in the work and envision the job that you would want to go get that GTR.
Exactly.
Envision it, and it will become true. There's a saying that my dad told me: think and be rich. But you can't just think. It's like it literally goes all the way back into like when you want to order a pizza. Like, I want a pizza right now. Well, if you and I just sat here, we're not gonna get it.
Yeah.
Put in the work. Even if you get a freaking DoorDash coming, we ordered it. It came to the door. What'd you do? You put in the work for it. It can go from little to small. You put in the work and you got one.
Yeah.
And then I know it's a funny analogy, but it's true. And
it's real.
Yeah.
You see, that's the thing. You can put small things into examples.
Exactly.
Just for people to understand the point you're trying to bring across.
Exactly.
Because whether or not it's ordering a pizza or working towards that fancy car,
that's why
it's the same thing. It means you have to take the right steps
Yep.
Make the right steps in order to achieve it. But it starts from manifesting. That's what the book tells you. You have to use the law of attraction. You have to put it out there. Because without you thinking about it, the steps are not going to come to you.
No, they won't.
So it starts by manifesting it.
Yep.
Think about the steps, work towards the steps, and then it becomes a reality.
And then it becomes a reality.
So everything work hand in hand. Everything has to work together.
Yes.
It's a step.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Definitely. And it's a very powerful thing.
Yeah.
And I've had a lot of people where I mention the law of attraction too, and they're like, eh. And it's like, okay, fine. That's their perspective. That's totally fine.
Yeah.
Totally okay.
Yeah.
But
we definitely had conversation about this. Like, people. You're all right. So a guy like you, your mind is very advanced.
Okay.
You're very intellect. It's like if you bring your IQ, it's just like having a glass of wine and an empty glass. You're like a glass that is full, right? In order to get this glass full, you're gonna have to pour all that wine into this glass, right?
Yes.
So for you to educate someone on what you know, it would take a lot of energy.
It just helps. That's why I like to hang out with a lot of different walks of life, and a lot of people who know different things. Like I don't know much about politics, I don't know much about sports, but if I hang around people who do, I will soak it up. I will try to soak it up as best as I can.
No, but the point what I was trying to say, I get what you're saying. The point what I'm trying to explain to you, like, the reason why if you go around certain people and you are sharing certain things, the reason why you're not grasping it, back to the example with the full cup and the empty cup.
Okay.
If they're empty and you're full and you're trying to put all of that wine into this glass,
yes,
you're going to lose a lot.
Okay.
Reason being your energy is getting drained.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying.
That's why a lot of people, they're like, oh, he's emotionally draining. And it's like,
exactly, because they're not. So like me, I'm a full glass. You're a full glass.
They're not willing to learn.
So exactly, I'm a full glass. You're a full
they're
glass.
Just gonna eat you up.
So where the energy is going back and forth.
That's why when I first met you and I started mentioning stuff like this, you were like instantly on it. I started talking about The Secret, and you were like, I've read it, and I was like, done.
Yes.
Instantly right there, you and I. That's why you said, I'm a full glass. You're a full glass.
Exactly.
There's no way we're gonna drain each other.
Exactly.
We're already there.
So the only thing we can do at this point.
I understand what you're saying.
Exactly. So the only thing we can do at this point is just share information, things that we don't know.
Yep.
So I'm learning from you. You're learning from me. I'm a sports guy. You're a philosophy.
Yes.
So we can share different things.
Exactly.
So that's why it's not draining.
I see.
To
Okay.
have a conversation.
Absolutely. Yep, I see what
All
you're
right.
saying.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. So.
Amazing.
Yeah. There's so much things in this world.
And that's another thing too with like what I was mentioning, having a positive mindset, is if you're an angry person,
yes,
and you're constantly mad and you're constantly griping about stuff and this and that, well, guess what? Those are the people you're going to attract as well. You're going to hang out with, that's what I was mentioning before. Remember, you hang out with the ups, you're going to be an up.
Yes.
If you hang out with the downs, you're going to be a down. So if you have a positive mindset every single day, where you just life is beautiful, like everything is going great. I got a good job, I got a house, I got this, and just count your blessings every single day. If it's like, Frankie walks around and he's happy all the time. He hangs out with cool cats all the time.
Yeah.
Because, like, that's why I met you. I have a positive mindset. I met someone with another positive mindset.
Exactly.
And then you see all the people on the streets in the middle of the ghetto and stuff. Notice how they're all hanging out with each other because they have the same exact mindset.
Yeah, and just to piggyback off what you said about the ghetto, right? I'm from the ghetto, right?
I mean,
yeah,
I am too, but I'm not gonna rep it. So, yeah.
I'm not bashing what you're saying. I'm saying I'm from the ghetto, right?
You are from
and a lot of people,
Jamaica, correct?
yeah, and a lot of people would be like, oh, he sells out, he's a sellout, but look at all the rich people, the people that made it.
Yeah.
They're not living in the ghetto no more.
Mm-hmm.
Reason being, you have to evolve yourself.
Absolutely.
You have to
evolution.
Yeah, you have to. If you want, listen. I never see a rich person hang out with a bunch of poor people.
Yeah. Because they want to be around the same mindset.
They want, and it's not because they're worried about people begging them money or stuff like that. It's the fact that you have to be around people with the same mindset who's gonna encourage you to make more money
and to be better always.
and to be better.
Yes, that's why even even if you are a millionaire, still think greater. Always just keep on thinking greater, and you will always. Yeah, you can be a millionaire and you can be stagnant for as long as you want. But if you're always thinking, there's always something better out there. I can keep on doing that, and that's fine. That's fine, because if you always think better, at least you're not thinking about losing it.
Well, you know what I need to share a little story. So, growing up in Jamaica, right?
Okay.
A lot of people, like, we always, like, I'm always looking at this, like, the people that doesn't have money, the poor people, they're the ones that is always flossing, like, showing money, showing name brand clothes, chains, and like taking pictures of money and flossing and all that, right? And when you look at the business owners, little $100 like shirt, and not $100 US, like $100 Jamaican. So that's like a dollar US.
Yeah,
right.
You probably got like a shirt from Walmart.
Yeah, so a little Walmart shirt and a little Walmart slippers and a little shorts, and he's opening up his business place every day, making money and going about his business. Well, you see the little poor man now, he wants to go around and show his name brand, his Rolex. Bro,
all the time.
I'm telling
where you're getting at.
I wasn't living in Georgia, and the mindset of the people down there is so, most people that lives in the city is so bad. I was working at a warehouse, right?
Okay.
And I know of people that is making $500 a week to pay. And the shoe that they wear to work, we're working in a dirty ass warehouse, right? And we have people coming to work wearing $600 sneakers.
Yeah.
They're Ubering to work, wearing $600 sneakers, and you're making $500.
And they're already planning on trying to get the next Travis Scott. So they're like, I'm trying to get these, and it's like, what are you doing?
Exactly.
Your TV's on a milk carton, bro.
Exactly.
What are you doing? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's why there was this guy I used to work with, almost the same thing. He'd pull up to work in this Camaro that you wouldn't even believe.
Yeah.
Like it was a Camaro, like this is like a dream car someone would want.
Yeah.
And he invited me to his house before, and I walked into his house, and I'm stepping over stuff.
Yeah.
I'm like going like, what the hell?
Yeah.
This car, you wouldn't think you lived in a place like this, so I could completely understand what you're talking about.
Yeah, because
these people floss it when they ain't got it.
Yeah, people priorities are really messed up. Like, and it goes back to like, you see, it goes back to show, like, back to where we're talking about, like, hanging out with the up and up.
Yes.
I am very attracted to ambitious people.
Yeah.
If you have no ambition and you're not going nowhere, we can't like our chemistry or mindset or conversation is not gonna go nowhere. And I'm a spiritual person.
Yes.
I just don't get up and like, oh, I wanna be his friend. Yeah. Or we're gonna be friends.
A lot of the times I can tell like right off the bat if I'm gonna like you or not.
Yeah.
And I'm very, very good at that. Like I have a very strong like.
I don't want to put it out there, but look at, for example, work.
Yeah.
We get along with everyone at work.
Absolutely.
That's fine.
Yeah.
But not everyone at work will we hang out with, because it's just that the spiritual connection is not there.
Yeah.
Like most of my friends, we have to connect spiritually. Like our energy has to be in sync.
Yep.
If it's not in sync, then we're not gonna hang out.
That's why when we worked together, our first time working together, when I was there, we were instant. I was like, oh, I'm working with Ricardo for the first time. I knew who you were. I've only like passed by you, like, hey, what's up, man? What's up? Yeah. But the second that we actually worked together, our mindsets were like instantly, boom, instant. Because you started talking about like it started with what I was playing on my Spotify. I started playing music.
Yeah,
like,
music. Yeah.
Yo, did we listen to the same thing? And I was like, here, you take the aux. And you started playing stuff, and it was instant. Just okay, I fuck with them.
Yeah, like I didn't.
That led to other things. What are you into? And I'm talking about this, and you were like, me too. And it's great minds attract.
Yes,
great minds
attract.
attract.
Yes, sir. Yeah, like it's just that's how you connect with people. Like you can't. I think like for some people, like just get out there randomly and just find friends, and then 2 weeks later they're like, oh, me and this person is not like friends anymore.
Yeah.
It's because you have to let, just like we say, the law of attraction. Let everything that the universe connects things together. Let it put all those moving puzzles together.
Everything happens for a reason.
Yeah.
And that's another thing I wanted to mention too. That's also a very good phrase that I live by. Everything happens for a reason.
Yes, sir.
I love that, because what I like to go by too is, you know, sometimes like when you wake up in the morning and you can't find your keys.
Yeah.
Oh well, just look for them. Just take the time to just find them.
Yes.
Why? Because have you ever been driving in the car and someone cuts you off and you're like, whoa, dude, if I left the house like 5 seconds later, I would have been in his way. Then you would have gotten a car accident.
Yeah, so that's very, very interesting.
So when
I never think about it, but that's true.
When I go off the universe, when you can't find your keys in the morning and you're going to be late to work, oh well, something is holding you back.
Yes.
Something doesn't want you to leave yet. Something is protecting you.
Yes.
That's what I take it as. I'm not taking it as, oh, the world's against me. I can't find my keys. I'm going to be late. Oh well, just go along for the ride. Or like when you're stuck in traffic, and it's like that's the law of attraction too. They say that on the Secret documentary. When you're in traffic and you're like, I'm gonna be late, hurry up, hurry up. And you're sitting there yelling at your car, come on, beep, beep, beep. Well, guess what? It's just gonna take longer. It's just gonna, you're putting out this energy. Like, I'm late. Well, then guess what? You're gonna be late. You're gonna be late. And that's what I wanted to mention, like I was saying too, the keys thing. If you lose something, or you can't find something, or something's delaying you, or maybe you're on the way to somewhere and you are in traffic. Oh well, just something is delaying you from showing up to where you need. That's why I like to leave early. Let's go there. But but if you are in traffic and you're sitting there like, okay, this is taking forever. Everything happens for a reason. You're in traffic right now for a reason, because let's say 1 minute up the road, something happens. If there wasn't traffic, you could have been in their way. You never know.
You know, I have an example to tell you, just like you mentioned that. So yesterday, right?
Yeah.
I was leaving the shop, and I was leaving work, and I leave my water bottle.
Okay.
Right? I pulled up, I reach at Mickey D's, and I'm like, oh, I need to bring my water bottle home so I can wash it, right? I went back to the truck, get my water bottle, then turn back and leave. Just as I am coming on the highway, there was an accident right in front of me. 2 cars hit each other and spin and all that craziness.
Prime example.
And I'm like,
you never know.
You just opened my eyes to that just now. I'm like, yeah, I could have been that car.
So if you, like you said, if you ever forget something, go back and get it. You forgot it for a reason. You forgot it for a reason. Like, exact prime example.
Yes, sir.
Don't be like, oh, I forgot my water bottle, I'll get it tomorrow. No, just take the time to go back and get it, because if the universe didn't want you to forget it, you wouldn't have forgot it.
Yeah.
So the fact that you forgot it, go get it.
Yeah.
And it could possibly, save your life.
Yeah.
You never know.
Yeah, that's very, very true, and it does happen, people.
I'm glad you had an example. That was
It's real, and a lot of people, a lot of our viewers, you guys can definitely give examples.
Yeah, maybe comment as something that something that related to you in that aspect.
Yeah, exactly. So you guys can relate to whatever we're talking about.
Yeah. Because
it happens to everyone.
It
right?
does. It really does.
And I have a question.
Yeah.
Right. This is going on into a different topic.
Okay.
For example, sometimes you'll meet people, right?
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, what month? When is your birthday?
Yes.
Right?
Okay.
And you're like, and you're like, oh, my birthday is this month. And they're like, oh, nah, I can't date you because your sign is this, and
I've been there.
Your sign is that. My sign is this. For example, I'm a Pisces, right?
You are?
Yeah.
That's why we get along, so am I.
You're a Pisces?
I'm a Pisces. That's what, okay.
Yeah.
When's your birthday?
February 26th.
Oh, so you're February Pisces. I'm a March 11th.
March 11th?
But we're still, glad you brought that up, because I'm all about that too. I actually tell myself I'm never going to date a Pisces again.
Oh, no. Hey, listen. Go ahead.
Yeah, well, no, you.
Oh, I've dated a Pisces with this exact birthday.
Me too. That's this one.
Oh my God.
And the reason we started dating is because in the beginning, it is like this. And you're like, wow, this is the greatest thing I've ever felt in my entire life. But don't get me wrong, it was the whole way through. It was. But it was once we started to get to know each other, now you're having aspects about one another. You need to do this, you need to do that. Then it was like, okay, now you're the same person fighting a completely different person.
Oh.
But so I had the same, my previous one was the exact same birthday, March 11th. That's how we got together.
Oh my, what? Mine, the same thing.
Go ahead.
So when I met my ex, it was like I was 21 when I met her. She was a little bit older than me.
Okay.
But we got together because of my birthday.
Yep.
We were February 26th, both of us Pisces, excited for each other. We liked the same thing. We had
never felt before.
I think that we were so much alike. We're gonna go back to yin and yang.
There's no balance.
Yeah, we're gonna go back to the yin and yang.
No
but
balance.
remember, so we were like exactly the same.
Yeah.
And it started off so good, but it ended so nasty. Like really, really. And when you look at it, you were literally like dating yourself.
Yeah.
Somewhat. But it's just two different genders.
It's when you're sad, they're sad.
Exactly.
It's a mirror. Definitely, it's a mirror. When you're mad, they're mad. What are you angry at? And then it's like there's no like, you know, I've dated people where I come home from work and I'm having a bad day and you're like, I'll admit I'm throwing my shit around, and I've had my significant other able to completely deflect my mood because she's another sign.
Yeah.
She's a different sign than me.
Yeah.
I'm a water sign. She's a fire sign. She's like, normally I would put her out, but she's able to balance me, yin and yang.
Yeah.
Like, babe, why are you throwing stuff around? And it's like, I'm fucking pissed today. Excuse my French. I'm pissed. Well, come here. And she knew exactly how to just, and I'm like, wow, okay, that helped. But with the Pisces, it's like, I'm up here, and then for some reason, now she's up here. And then vice versa. Sometimes I wake up and I see she's in a bad mood. I don't know what it was that I just couldn't help.
Yeah.
I couldn't. I would literally wake up every day and I'm like, okay, no matter what happens, I'm gonna do my best to like deflect. And obviously that's no way to live in a relationship, but I would tell myself I'm gonna do my best to deflect whatever happens the next time that she gets mad. And then there would be a time where she's up here and I'm just like, oh. And I'm talking about the one where I'm dating the same sign. It was nearly impossible to balance each other out.
Yeah.
But don't get me wrong, when it was good, it was good. It was amazing. When the times were good, it was good. But it was literally almost physically impossible to yin and yang with that one.
Yeah.
Literally.
I agree. I have experience with that for sure. Like I'm telling you, like it ended so bad. And you know what? I think with her, we were at first we were so into each other where we were like inseparable, right?
Yeah.
And then I'm very claustrophobic, and that's like, I don't think I want my partner to be
smothering,
like not smothering, but like beyond me 24/7. You see, my fiance now, we do spend a lot of quality time, but we do have time where she's doing her stuff, I'm doing my stuff. We're not 24 hours, 7 days a week around each other. Like
that's what I call it, smothering. You're smothering the other person.
We're not always like too much. I'm not always in her face, and she's not always in my face all the time. Right? We give her time. We give ourselves time to miss each other.
Absolutely.
I think with a relationship like that, because we have so much qualities that we love with each other, because we're the same sign and we like the same things.
Yes.
We were like always around each other. We were like spending too much time that we didn't give ourselves time to miss each other. Then it started becoming bad and just toxic.
It's good to have different hobbies.
Yes.
It really is.
Yes.
Like, you know, like you guys, like I've seen couples that work together and they have the same hobbies and they do the same thing, and it's like, and it's just like,
when do you get that time for yourself?
It's insane. But it's really important to have different hobbies. Like, you know, like,
agree.
Oh, I'm into bowling and then she's into like tennis or what. For instance, like we both do different things.
Yeah.
And it's very good. It's very good to have that time apart where, like you said, I miss you. It's very important.
Yeah, you have to. You have to give yourself that time to like miss your partner, like wanna be around them, that crave to be around them. Like I do coaching, and I know that when I'm out there coaching and stuff, my fiance, she miss me. She can't wait for me to come home so we can like spend time with each other.
Yeah.
But think about it, if I'm always like, for example, she's a teacher, right? If I'm teaching at the same school with her, she's seeing me all the time. We're at home all the time.
And then you guys come home, you see each other again.
Exactly. It would be too much. Yeah, it would be too much.
It would be a handful.
Yeah.
And that would cause arguments.
Exactly.
That would cause arguments, and that was my issue with the Pisces that I was talking about. I was dating. We moved in way too fast.
Yeah.
And because we thought it was great. Oh my God, you and I get along so
Yeah.
well.
Oh,
we get along
listen.
so well. Maybe we've spent every day together. Why don't we live together? And then that's when it was like, now we're having expectations about one another. And then that's when it was like
downhill.
Yep. From there on.
Yo, Scorpios.
Yes.
Let me tell you this. I will never, ever,
A Scorpio?
in my lifetime.
Mine is a Gemini. I would never date a Gemini.
So let me tell you what Scorpio. My mom.
Personal opinion. I would never date a Gemini.
Yeah, let me tell you this. My mom, she's a Scorpio.
Okay.
That's fine. But let me tell you, my ex-wife, she's a Scorpio. Scorpio, they're the type of person like this. They like to get back at you. They like to have that last.
You gotta think it's the Scorpio Scorpion.
They like to.
They get back at you.
Yes, sir.
They stab you in the back. Go bam.
Yep. They believe in revenge a lot. They believe that, listen, if you hurt their feelings, they have to bring down the world of hurt on you.
Yeah.
I've never seen a Scorpio who is not.
They'll never be able to just take it, to be able to just eat it.
No,
like when you give them something, they're not going to be able to be like, oh, well, if that's what you think about me, fuck it.
No.
They're like, oh, that's what you think. Well, yeah, well, you're a, and it's like, whoa.
Yeah.
Now you're deflecting what I just. I know what you're talking about.
This is always used, never them.
Yep. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, mine's Gemini because I've dated a Gemini before, and that was like, yeah, I don't know. It was something else. She just thought like everything had to resemble around her. Everything had to. Everything had to. So like center of attention, call it. And it was like, but every Gemini can be different. This is just my personal opinion. I'm not like specifically towards a certain like just Geminis in general. All of them can be different, and that's why zodiac signs, as you're familiar, it's the 12 30-degree sectors that make up the Earth's orbit.
Okay.
Like every single sign is different.
Okay.
You can have a Gemini, you can have two girl Geminis, but you never know. They can be two completely different people.
That's interesting.
You never know. Like my best friend is a Pisces.
Okay.
Mark's a Pisces too, and him and
it's crazy.
We're alike, but we also have very, very, very different similarities as well. But we get along like peas and carrots.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's so crazy that Mark is you're a Pisces.
And he's a Pisces too.
Yo, it's crazy.
Imagine that.
Yo, it's crazy. Like, Mark is a Pisces. And at first, me and Mark, like, we're just bumping heads.
Yeah.
Because you know what? We're definitely the same.
Yeah.
We're strong-minded. We're a very strong-willed person.
Yeah.
And that's the reason why I figure out Mark.
But see, all it takes is communication.
Like exactly.
You did that one day. You're a good guy. Apologize, and then now it's just normal.
Yeah, like exactly.
Now it's just normal.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And that's another thing. What I'm talking about, like the universe brings people together who are meant to be together. And that's insane. There's 3 Pisces in this room.
Exactly.
We
didn't even realize that.
We didn't even think about it. It just got brought up.
Yeah.
And that's insane. It's like.
Yeah. It's just law of attraction.
The law of attraction. Yeah. Yep. And that's why I for some reason I'm so good at this. When I meet someone, I'm kind of not an expert at it, but a lot of times I've been able to be like, you're a Pisces, aren't you? Yeah, I am. And I'm like, I knew it. But with you, I didn't even realize that, but I should have because I should have because when we first got into the same exact truck together, I should have known like how we just connected so instantly. I should have been, oh, this guy's a Pisces. Yeah. But that's another thing too. I also get along with Gemini men as well. Like the Gemini woman I would never date, but a Gemini guy. Every time I've met one of them, I'm just like, damn, dude, we're on the same page right now. We're on the same exact thing. We're on the same page, and also Virgos.
Yeah.
Pisces also get along with Virgos very well because Virgo is fire sign, and then Pisces water sign. We can balance because my dad's a Virgo, my best friend, and I can have conversations with him like this.
My daughter is a Virgo.
Oh really? Yeah, I can have conversations like this with him, and we'd be on the same page.
Yeah.
All through and through, and it's good too because Pisces a lot of times we're indecisive. Yeah. And Virgos are like, this is what's happening.
You know what? You're definitely right. I have a friend, Kemar. He's a Virgo. And you said your dad is like most of the time when I'm running
way.
into like a brick wall, I'm like, okay, what should I do? And I call him up. He make the picture so clear.
It's his way or the highway.
Yeah. You're right.
I've done that with my dad. Like, oh, what are we gonna do? Like, what do you think we should do? And we got the whole family trying to decide what to do. And he's like, we're gonna do this, and then after we'll do this, and then it just makes sense. Oh, that sounds like a good idea.
Yeah.
And then it ends up working out. And every single time. That's why, like you're saying, your daughter's a Virgo. She's gonna be able to make your decisions as she gets older. You'll be like, where do you want to go for lunch? Here.
Yeah, she's very strong-minded. Like I'm telling you, like whenever I have conversation with her, you can tell that she's gonna be a very strong-minded kid.
Yes. Yeah.
And I know she's gonna do some great things out there.
Yeah, that's
like, so then before we wrap up, the next thing that I want to talk about, right?
Absolutely.
You know, just like we have the laws of attraction and we have like things in the universe that it put things together, it makes things more realistic, and it, even though a lot of people have questions about a lot of stuff, but what about the numeric chart, like numeric stuff, like numbers, right? Like, all right, so for Christians, right, they say that the 666, right, means the mark of the beast.
And it actually doesn't.
Yeah.
We call them angel numbers. Each and every one has. I don't know per se what the 666 means, but I know like 222 means like right place at the right time. And there's like there's 444, where it's like, you know, good things are coming your way. They all have a different meaning. That's why a lot of times, you know, I do live by it sometimes, where like sometimes I'll check out when I'm at the grocery store and I see 666 and I'll buy something else because it's been put out there that it's a bad number.
Yeah.
It's been put out there, so like I don't believe it, but I just won't. I do. Okay, maybe it is, but whatever. But I don't, because if you look it up, if whoever's watching this will actually Google angel numbers, there's going to be 111, 222, 223, 444, etc. And each and every one of them has a different meaning. And 666 is not bad. It's not a bad number whatsoever. And each and every one of them has a different meaning. So me in my life, when I start to see repeated numbers, what I know is that's when I know good things are coming my way. So my number throughout the past probably 5 years has been 222. Always. I got a tattoo of it on my leg because I love it so much, and because every time I've seen 222, amazing things have always happened in my life. So recently, when I just recently moved up here, you know, I was starting to get my new place and a new job and this and that, and I started working with you, and then but I told myself I want to do this. I want to work in this industry. Like this is just like a spacer.
Yeah, spacer. So we talk about that.
So I can make money while I'm manifesting this job.
Yes, sir.
And so as I'm getting all my stuff in line, you know, and then finally I got my new place all set up, and then I got situated with where I'm working with you, and then I started meeting the people that I want. So now I got the group I want to hang out with, this and that. So long story short, I got situated. So then, right after that, what time is it? And I'm like, oh, it's 222. Imagine that. And that was the beginning of it. And then see the license plate in front of me, 222555, and I'm like 222 in a row. And I'd be driving and I look at a billboard and it's like, call now, 509-222, and I'm just like, okay, what's about to happen? And I was telling myself, what are you? And that's I always look into the sky. What's about to happen? You keep showing me 222. What's going on? Right place at the right time. So the 222 is the right place at the right time. So I forget what coworker I was with, but we were just about to clock out. We're walking down the stairs and he's like, I'm gonna go talk to the boss.
Yeah.
And so then he goes and talks to the boss.
Yeah.
And I could have stayed back. I could have stayed back. It was Mark.
Yeah.
He's I'm gonna go talk to the boss. I don't want to say his name, but so he goes, and I could have stayed back. I could have went to his truck and waited for him to be done, but something told me to go talk to them as well.
Yes.
So I went and talked to him as well, and he said, "Hey, how's that job going that you've been looking for?" I'm like, "It's tough, man. It's tough." And he goes, "You know what? I hate to do it, but I'm gonna refer you to my buddy that I know that works in that exact industry."
Yes.
And I was like, "Wow." So he calls me, long story short, calls me, this and that, we exchange numbers. The boss from the other company calls me, tells me that he wants me to start. I put in my 2 weeks, boom, there you go. I was at the right place at the right time.
And remember, you manifested all of this.
Yes, because I told myself, what's about to happen? Because I believed it. I keep seeing 222, so I wasn't ignoring it. If you ever see repeated numbers, do not ignore it. Do not. Look it up, you know. If you keep telling yourself, I see 555 every day, look it up, look what it means.
Yes.
So once you look it up and you look what it means, now you can start picturing what's about to happen. Yes. You know, like 555, I forget what it means. I could look it up, but it's like, so if you tell yourself, if you were to see 555 constantly, angel number meaning. So if you were to look it up, and it means 555 represents change and good luck and transformation and personal growth. So now if I was seeing 555 constantly, I now know that means change is about to happen. So now you're able to put into your head what's about to happen. And it also means personal growth. You can put all these things into your head about what's about to happen. So me, I kept seeing 222 and I'm like, well, what's about to happen? Where am I about to be? What right place at the right time am I about to be in? And when I went to his office, that was my answer.
Right place at the right
I got
time.
a recommendation from someone to get to the job that I absolutely wanted. And I'm about to start it next week, just like that.
Yeah, that's some good stuff, man. Like,
yeah.
I really learned a lot from you. I'm sure the viewers, they learn a lot from you, yes. And we'll be inviting you back on the podcast because people, I'm telling you, there's so much more information. I work with this guy and I can tell you, there's so much more that he has to share for you guys. Yes. And we're definitely going to have him back on the podcast. Yeah.
And mind you, what we talked about is, like I said, it's a grain of sand compared to what I should know or want to know. Not should, it's what I want to know. And even what's actually the true facts. What we literally chipped what's out there and what we like the facts on the universe, law of attraction, this and that. We just made a dent. There is so much more that I am uneducated on. Yeah. That I would still love to know. That's why I'm still, till the day I'm 80 years old, I'm gonna be absorbing all this information.
Because you know what I wanted to ask you before we wrap up.
Yeah.
About, I always wonder, this the story behind Friday the 13th. Like, everyone always like, whenever it's like Friday the 13th, why is it the bad luck day? What's your take on that? Do you?
That I just take it off because they made the movie. They made the movie Friday the 13th, so now everyone goes off of that. And
okay.
And I don't know why they made the movie. I guess it was just a thing. They created this movie.
So they created a narrative then, it's a bad luck day.
I haven't looked into why Friday the 13th, why the movie, why the producer came up with it. I haven't really gotten too deep into that. Yeah. But to the best of my knowledge, I feel like that's why everyone it's Friday the 13th because it's a scary movie. And then in the movie when it's Friday the 13th, bad things start happening. Yeah. So now I think the world is relaying it off of that.
Oh, okay. Because growing up, we always when it's Friday the 13th, a lot of people are very skeptic
on
going out.
Watch out,
I don't want to go out because today is Friday the 13th. This is gonna happen. We're gonna be cautious, stuff like that. So
I haven't really dig deep into that one. I just from my best personal perspective, it's because of the movie.
Oh, okay.
And then now they're relaying off of that. Yeah, that's my thing.
Yeah, well, people, that was Real Talk Uncut. This is Frank. Thank you for coming.
Pleasure, bro.
Appreciate it, man.
Absolutely.
You're very, very educated. The intellect, your IQ is on a different level, bro.
I would love to come back.
Yeah, you're definitely gonna come back, bro. For real. You teach us a lot of stuff that we didn't know. I'm sure that the viewers, they're gonna enjoy these contents.
Yes.
We want to shout out to some of our sponsors. I want to say iCare, weight loss. People, the information is gonna be on the screen. If you want to lose weight, visit iCare. This is not a chemical type of medicine that you're getting from them. It's all from earth. It's natural supplements. Call iCare, get your consultation done, and they will definitely tell you the remedy, tell you the right program, the treatment that you need to lose weight. Okay? The next one, I want to say big up Dion Consultation Service is for special need kids. So if your kid is slow, autistic, and have special needs, contact Dion. The information is going to be on the screen. You can contact her. And people, if you don't have the time and the patience, if you're searching for resources or anything that you need for your kid that has special needs, she has the link. She has a connect. So contact her. And I just want to say thank you guys for watching. Like, share, subscribe. Thank you again, Frank, for coming. I appreciate it, bro.
It's an absolute pleasure.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you.
Everything you do, everything that you think you see in me.